And a good spiritual morning to you once again. Thanks for joining us today for a quick chat. And of course, our morning cup of coffee.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us today. We are obviously pre-recording this, Father, because it's Ascension Thursday.
No, I'm in here right now.
Yeah.
There's liturgy.
We're in liturgy right now.
Hopefully you're making it to liturgy.
That would be lovely.
Today for Ascension. But if you're not, either way, we're trying to reach out to you.
I was confessing, not that I go to you for confession. I said to Father,
no, you
I
don't do that.
I don't do that. I don't
you
think
can't.
I ever...
All your confessions about me. I tell you how much this guy tortures me.
Let me tell you what this guy's doing to me. I don't think I ever went to the service growing up.
To Ascension?
Yeah, no, I was either in school or at work or whatever.
Commonly attended. Yeah. It is a weekday.
Yeah.
It's always a Thursday. Obviously, it's always 40 days after a Sunday, so it's always a Thursday.
Right.
And it's not well attended. So we wanted to talk a little bit about Ascension because it's today, and it's a big feast day in the life of our church.
It's a huge feast day.
But we kind of, it gets glossed over. You know, kind of it's like, oh, what, that happened? Or it's
that was
happen.
last week? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and then we have Pentecost coming up 10 days later.
Right.
So just this idea, I think about a lot of times we have the story of Christ's life, the gospel, and we sort of think the story ends at the resurrection, like the empty tomb, the end.
Yeah, Thomas sees him, the apostles see him.
Well, I don't even know if we go that far. Okay. That's what I'm saying. I feel like if you're thinking about the story of Christ's life, you think about all the miracles, and then Palm Sunday, right? Lazarus, Palm Sunday, and you think about the mystical supper, and then the betrayal and passion, crucifixion. He's in the tomb. He's resurrected. The end is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And we forget, roll credits, fin, right? Then it's like, well, no, the story continues because he does, as you just said, he appears. So the ministry continues because
40 days.
He's got to prove basically to the apostles, to the dum-dums that never get it. He's got to prove we're all dum-dums. We don't get it. But they just don't get it. He's telling them repeatedly what's going to happen. They're like, no, yeah, really? No.
3 days? What? Yeah.
So he's got to show up and show them and appear to them and also appear in the flesh, like that Thomas gets to touch him and that he eats with them. A lot of people, as an aside, ask why and I've said this before, but just as a good reminder, when we have our memorial luncheons, when someone passes away at a funeral, and you have the funeral, typically you want to feed the people that have come to mourn with you.
Right.
You have some kind of, we call it a makaria in Greek, a memorial luncheon, and it's traditional to serve fish. And people struggle with that. And that's the meal that we should be serving.
Why not chicken? Why not beef? Right.
Right. Why not whatever? It's because that's the resurrection meal that Christ has. When Christ eats with the apostles after he appears, after the resurrection, he has fish on a charcoal fire with them. He has fish. Right. So anyway, he eats with them. He walks with them. So the ministry continues until the Ascension. Then what happens on Ascension? Right. This is what's always amazing, and maybe we don't think through.
I don't think we think about it at all.
Yeah. Okay. We don't think about it at all. But if you do think about it, we sort of have this vision of Christ like the spirit, this angel, kind of going up into the clouds. But remember, we just talked about him eating.
Right.
And Thomas can feel him.
Right.
So he's not a spirit.
There's confusion for us who are trying to understand.
It's a person with a body. Now, it's the resurrected body, which we don't know what that means. But we do know he eats. And we do know he says, touch me and handle me. Right? I'm not a spirit. And so there's this idea that he doesn't, when he's resurrected, now he's like the way that we will be, God willing, in the resurrection. Right. And he ascends to heaven. He takes the body with him. He takes our humanity. It's not like God comes down, becomes one of us, does some stuff, and then leaves us here and goes back up and he's God again. He doesn't leave us here. He doesn't leave humanity here. He takes humanity with us and sits it right at the right hand of the Father. Yeah. Like he
and for us to understand that, I mean, there's probably volumes of saints who've tried to,
of course, but just that idea that what you are and what I am, what we are, our humanity, our nature, our personhood, has now been joined to God in a way that's inextricable, but not confused. Beautiful. It's unconfused, but intertwined, and now that's placed in the very presence of the Holy Trinity, in communion with God.
Yeah, that's
in a way that, and that sounds like, well, that's super complicated. So what do I do with that? Yeah. Thanks for letting me know that, great. Now I can sleep.
But I think for me, it helps me when I'm going through painful things. It helps me know that I can relate. God can relate to me. There's something that's been connected where when I'm going through, I'm like, oh, God is up in heaven. I'm in pain.
God can't relate to it.
Yeah.
Except he can, because now he's become one of us.
And let's be honest, when you think about Holy Week, he's been through a lot more pain than I've been through in my life.
And not only is he one of us, he's still one of us. That's what I was kind of getting at.
Beautiful.
That idea that he came down, took on our nature, became one of us, except without sin, not without temptation, but without sin, experienced humanity. I said that a couple weeks ago when we talked about the Samaritan woman. I love that Christ sits down at the well to talk to the Samaritan woman, and it says Jesus is tired. And so he sits down at the well. It's like, oh, God knows what it means to be tired. Like, in a sense, that's an amazing thing. He knows what it means to be hungry. He knows what it means to be in pain. He knows what it means. So it connects our humanity.
Yeah.
That's what Christ does. That's the amazing thing. Christ connects God to our humanity. And so that now we understand, he knows. He's been through it, and worse, obviously.
Yeah.
He's been through one of the worst possible situations you can write.
Yes.
If you were writing a story, what's the worst thing I could think of? Here's this person that does these amazing things, helps all of these people, and then he's betrayed by one of his own people that's supposed to love him, and he's innocent, and he's persecuted by his own people and handed over, and then he's tortured, and then he's put to death in one of the most painful ways you can be put to death. It's like, that's all the worst of the human condition. Right. So when we're thinking and complaining about the human condition, our condition, realize, well, he gets it. And he still gets it. Yeah. Because Christ is still a person. Yeah. He's not so far removed. It's not like, well, he's up there now and he doesn't know what it's like to be down here. No,
we feel closer to him because of that. That's what I think that there's a point where we feel removed from God. God is perfect. God is in heaven. God's not around. I don't really hear him. I don't really talk to him. And I feel like the more that I go through Lent every year, the more I feel closer to Christ because of this. Right. I feel like, I complain about my hip or my back or my neck, or I didn't sleep enough or this or that. We're so petty with our complaints that we think, okay, God, I need you to help me through this. And to feel it, as some of the saints say, that prayer should be like an embrace. Prayer should feel like a child sitting on a parent's lap, embracing them. Because of his humanity, I feel the embrace. Otherwise, it feels too far away.
There's a distance. There's no personal...
Right. And that's been removed.
Right. So I think, what I'm getting at, or what we're getting at, is for all of us to try to feel that personal connection. Right. Just as a reminder today, be reminded of the fact that God ascends into heaven. There's an ascension, of course, but he doesn't leave us behind. Right. He knows what we're going through. He can relate to what we're going. He can understand, and he knows it, and he loves us. So when we're going through it, why people so often feel alone, and we should never feel alone. We should never feel like, well, no one gets me. No one understands. Right. No one can relate. Christ does. Christ gets it, understands it. He's right next to you. So that's the amazing thing. When he's a person on earth, he's a person on earth, right? He's there in first century, in Israel. He's there in that area. He's there. Now he's everywhere, right? He was always omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, right? Because he's God. Right. But in the person of Christ, there was a person of Christ. Now Christ is ever present. Christ is there for me whenever I'm going through something, and he's there for all of us watching whenever we're going through anything. He gets it. He understands it. He can be there. There's an embrace. Yeah. If I feel alone and if I'm going through something, I should know there's always an arm around me, right? And it's Christ's arm. And I just need to feel it. It's there.
Yeah.
I just need to feel. I need to ask him to put it there, and ask for the embrace, and let him meet me and be with me in those moments.
Yeah,
And
where I am.
And when it's very difficult, obviously, and there's some of us, we're going to go through really difficult things in life. And just like you're saying, in the grind of day-to-day life, in that grind of day-to-day life where it sort of adds up, and sort of let Christ in there by spending some time with him, by talking to him, by trying to relate to him person to person. And that's the beauty of Ascension. It's that reminder that, when he goes up there, he doesn't leave us behind. He takes us with him. He takes our humanity and places it in the presence of God. And now I have access to God in a way that I didn't have before. Right. No one had before. And so now I can relate to him in that way and have that relationship and build that relationship and get closer to him, closer to the Father, and do that each and every day.
Amen.